Hello, Leos. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. My name is JJ. I'm here to give you a tarot reading for this mid-November. Energies extending all the way to the first week of November. So if you're new here, welcome. Most of my viewers are new. Thank you very much for taking the time. I've only been here for less than a week, but I've been so happy so far. The turnout has been really great. So thank you guys if you're watching this like for the second time, if you happen to have like gone through other videos. So thank you for returning. So Leos, I have meditated on your cards, and I have to say I yawned quite a bit when I was meditating on your cards. And I'm not exceptionally tired. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit tired. It's almost AM here, but I'm a bit of an insomniac, so I'm not usually this tired. And I found myself yawning quite a bit when I was meditating on Strength card, which is you, and on the rest of the deck. I'm gonna start shuffling. So I'm wondering, how are you guys doing? Are you feeling tired much? I have a few Leo friends, a couple of them. Haven't spoken to them in a while though. Leos, you're always busy. Always. What do we know about Leos? You're super passionate and very talented. All the Leos I've met are super, super talented, especially musically inclined. Your ruling planet is the sun. That says a lot, I think. The sun being the center of the universe. Sometimes you'd like that attention too. Don't deny it, Leos. Everyone likes to be the center of attention sometimes. With you guys, that comes naturally. You like being recognized for your efforts, for your talents. Extremely warm and charming. Very charismatic. And you naturally pull people in. You do. But what that means is that you also don't like being ignored. So that does bother you, because you know you're warm and you are extremely giving. And so when you don't receive this in return, or if someone doesn't pay attention to you, it can get to you and you start to wonder why. Leos, lions of the bull. You're powerful and no one should ever mess with you. Not a good idea to mess with a Leo, clearly. Wouldn't want your claws all up in there. A couple of cards have flipped in your deck. Okay, interesting. Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and Page of Wands so far. Your past position. Queen of Pentacles is someone who's got a great soul, much like you, even though she is an earth sign, while you are a fire sign and extremely fixed in your ways. You're not very mutable as a fire sign. The Queen of Pentacles is someone with great wealth or luxury. And you guys being lions, that you have your own wealth in your own way. And the Wheel of Fortune coming next means that you've completed something. Something's gone full circle for you recently. You're moving on something new. A new chapter of your life. This is still in the past position though, so I'm yet to see what it is that this is talking about. And with the Page of Wands, it's very young energy as well. And it coming after the Wheel of Fortune is appropriate, I feel. And Wands is very much fire energy. It can be you, it can be, cards are slipping out. It can be you, can be Aries, can be Sagittarius. Pages can be messages coming in pretty fast because there are wands in this case. It can also be new ideas coming in pretty fast, pretty quickly, or starting to branch out into new territory. And with this Wheel of Fortune, again, it's not surprising if you are doing that. This is again in the past position. If you started something new and you're quite confident about this, you are confident about this. With the Nine of Pentacles here, that promises great. Wow, look at that, just really flew out there. And once again, this appeared in the last reading I did for Libra. And when this appeared for Libra, I'm like, how out of place? And with you guys, it's the same thing. How out of place? Because your first 5 cards, okay, are Queen of Pentacles, rich, luxurious, successful. She's great, she's generous, she's magnificent. She's magnificent in much the same way that you are. You're moving on into something new. The Wheel of Fortune, it usually spins in your favor. Yes, okay, there are ups, there are downs. If you went through a down period, something not so great in your life, you're coming into something great now. If you were going through a great period, you're coming into something maybe a bit challenging now. But I don't feel that this is the case at all. Why would this be the case for you? The Wheel of Fortune, in my opinion, is always something good. I mean, it's always the start of a new cycle. And the Page of Wands, again, it's very refreshing energy. It is embarking on a new journey with a fresh new idea. Exploring that and doing it with confidence because you have the Queen of Pentacles here and she is confident. And this supports that. The Nine of Pentacles is an extremely independent figure. Yes, it's an earth sign, so this is not you, but I mean, neither is the Queen of Pentacles you. Are these earth signs in your life? So Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus? But either way, she is very successful. She's at a point where, her money is up. She's comfortable at work. She has what she needs around her. All this land, fertile land. She doesn't need any additional support. But then you have this heartbreak here. That catches me off guard. Catching me off guard. In much the same way it caught me off guard with Libra. We'll get to the root of it. Like I said before, who messes with the Leo? When you guys love, you really, really love. But sometimes maybe you also get caught up, and you can sometimes get easily upset if things don't go your way. So maybe in matters of love, things were not going your way. Maybe you were experiencing success on other fronts. Like your career. Career is really coming out here as something extremely successful. But maybe on the love front, something was suffering. The Hierophant is your next card. And that's very much present energy. And the Hierophant is someone, who makes me think of structure and social order of things. Usually things, beyond a person's control. The environment around you. And having to listen to that can also be religious factors, because the Hierophant is otherwise known as the priest. And the priest, the Hierophant, he dictates how things should be around you in the society in which you live, the environment around which you live. You have another Pentacles card that's popped out here. Okay, the Five of Pentacles, but it's come out in reverse. In the upright, this is you feeling left out in the cold. Maybe you don't feel like this place is for you, wherever you are. Maybe it's not agreeing with you, but it's in the reverse. So it can take on another meaning. With it being in the reverse, it can suggest things not going according to plan. It can suggest disorder, chaos. But disorder resonates a lot more than chaos because of the Hierophant being here. So the Hierophant calls for strict social order, following the law, following rules, playing things by the book, being holy, really taking into account spiritual, religious factors if that resonates with you. Because of course, not everyone is religious, not everyone is spiritual, not everyone has to be. To each his own. It talks about, social order in the plainest form, if not, these other higher things. And that might not be agreeing with you right now. Although oddly enough, What confusing energy, I have to admit. Because oddly enough, you have this in your present. The Ten of Pentacles it's fabulous energy for career and even for the home. It's the highest point you can get with your money, you know? If we're not talking about characters here, like the Queen of Pentacles, she's rich. Yeah, and as is the King of Pentacles, who's not just rich as in the sense of having enough money, but intellectually too. But the Ten of Pentacles, because it doesn't discuss a particular character, it's not alluding to someone, can also allude just generally to a family situation being great. You have enough money to have the home you want, to have a successful family business too, but you're not happy being where you are. You're not. You're not agreeing with the city, the country that you're in at the moment. And that's a shame, you guys. Of course, like, you know, you always have to prioritize your happiness, though. Prioritize your happiness. Not everyone can succeed if they're not feeling content with their own personal situation. It doesn't matter how well you could be doing at work. If you're not happy in your home life or you're not happy with your social life, then other things sometimes don't matter. I mean, for you, having great relationships is really, really important for you. And right now, oh my, that doesn't seem to be happening. This is you, full force. This is you bickering, arguing, fooling around a bit. Because this card this isn't major arguments or anything. It's nothing too major. But it's still wow, I completely blanked out there. But it's a card of conflict and strife, basically. With the Page of Swords before that, who's also appeared multiple times in other readings, with her defensive stance, paranoid, defensive, who can I trust stance. Or this is an air person who's doing this, or not helping with the situation. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, can be, because I can't say that this is you and this is you. No, I can't. This is you. And you might be doing this to an air sign, making them feel a bit not so right. That's your present situation. Why is that, Leo? I know, Leo, like fire signs, you know, I have a Leo moon, by the way, so I understand to some extent. We do like to have soft arguments every now and then. It can get exciting. But you have to consider that there's a time and place for this, and it doesn't always work to our advantage, unfortunately. It doesn't always work with all the people around us either. Not everyone likes that. Not everyone is as fiery as we can be, and you can bicker with another Aries, with another Sagittarius as well, and they won't mind. They'll probably enjoy it for a while. But if you do this with even an air sign, and air signs can be pretty tough. I'm pretty rough and can hurt as well. Even air signs don't like that sometimes. Can get equally defensive. And now you've got your guard up. Your cards are not popping out anymore. What's up? What's up with that? So you guys, I would really appreciate feedback. If you have any for me, please go ahead and leave a comment or a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Whatever feels right for you when you come to this reading. If I am resonating with you, let me know. This is the first time I read for the collective for Leo. And I don't expect to be on point with every single sign. I'm human. A change, a really, really big change, a breaking in a foundation coming. It is coming for you. When the Tower appears, it's extremely abrupt, and it's at the cusp of present and future energy. So this might happen pretty soon, or it might happen a bit later, depending on whether or not you're still in this state of disorder, not really appreciating the environment around you, It's not really, you don't feel like home anymore, even though you have the capacity to make this a home. Your finances are approving the situation at the moment. But with these two energies coming right after that, you need to figure out whether or not you're pushing people's buttons, and whether or not this is energy that you want to hold on to or not. Is this worth it? Is this worth it? Because this is very much you. The Five of Wands is all the way Leo energy. This fighting, this bickering. Some of it can be playful, but just because you think it's playful does not mean everyone else does. Keep that in mind. So an abrupt change is coming. This is when, something that you really held on to, like a belief structure that mattered, comes crashing down. The idea you had of it, not working. How you interpreted that idea, not working. Abandoned tower, literally. Because if you don't, you're going to go up in smoke. You know this. Two major arcanas in a row. You know this, and you're going to be moving forward, and you're going to get past this. You guys are tough. You guys are super strong, and you don't stay in this downward state. You don't. Whether this is upside down or upright, you don't like to stay in this state. You guys are leaders. People rely on you. People depend on you. People look up to you. You don't like to stay in a vulnerable situation at all. You don't like to reveal when you're feeling weak at all, even though you know it's fine. It is fine to turn to people sometimes, Leo. It is. The King of the Hill needs support too. But you are more than capable of moving forward and past all the obstacles. This is a person who rises into kingship. This is a person who is not born into kingship, but who makes their way there, successfully so. And nothing gets in their way. Going from winter to spring with ease. You sure as hell will be moving. This might be a literal move, because the Chariot it can be a metaphorical move, but it can also suggest an actual move somewhere else. Just good for you if that's what you want, if that's what you need. If you need to leave this social order situation wherever you're living that's just not agreeing with you, and you've found somewhere else that works better with your belief system, somewhere where you can also thrive, somewhere where you can up the ante, make use of the finances. Because if this is something you don't already have, this is something you're thinking of, and you could be wondering, with this Page of Wands, that's in your recent history, here, this Page of Wands is also wondering, where can I go with this new idea? Where can this new idea, this creative burst of energy I have, where can that flourish? He's pondering. Where can I go and be like this? Because right now I'm feeling this and this. I want you to take a look at how I've interpreted this. Because I like to read the cards from left to right as much as I like to read the cards vertically. So horizontally and vertically. Sometimes it doesn't work vertically, but sometimes that speaks volumes as well. I hope you can see all the cards here a bit more. Because although the Queen of Pentacles is someone who's quite, magnificent in her own right and has her money up and, she's pretty much got her shit together. If the social order of things is not working in her favor at all, why should she stick around? She or he, by the way, it doesn't matter. She will prompt this change, this radical change. It's in her capacity to do so. She is not sticking around for conflicts to arise. Kings and queens don't have time for that. And this Wheel of Fortune here, with the wheel spinning, it could be spinning, I'm sorry to say, but maybe from like a situation that was going all right to a situation that needs to change. Because this is disorder. This is chaos when it's in the reverse. And now you just want to leave and move forward and bounce. And I don't blame you. If you're not happy, then of course you're going to leave. And with this Page of Wands, thinking, contemplating, and maybe receiving messages for new opportunities. This can also be, because pages are messages as well. Messages for new, because it's a wand, I'm going to think of ideas, new approach. It could be new opportunities, new territories. You could have received an offer. You could have been made an offer. And this offer has, can help you bring up your capital all the way to within, where you become abundant with money. The salary could be a lot more than what you're earning right now. This is a happy memories card. Maybe this offer, if you did receive an offer, let me know if this resonates with you, could be back in your hometown or somewhere you visited once upon a time and had a really happy time in. That could be, even though the Six of Cups is usually, this can be someone coming back from the past, but I'm not seeing that right now very clearly. If it is someone coming back from the past, this is a happy memories card. Then, this is you thinking back to a time where you were really happy, and that happy energy creeping in, basically. It's kind of like history repeating itself, but in a very, very great way. In a happy way. And that's why I feel that if you are moving, you can be, even though this is moving forward, this can be you moving back, but moving back to somewhere you really, really love or you've enjoyed being in before. Let's see if this sequence of events vertically is going to make sense for the rest of your cards here. Well, you have the Star card. And that is a renewal in hope. And it is also healing. And that's absolutely beautiful. And I can't believe it. But, it's another major arcana here that does suggest also healing and moving forward and having so much hope. You guys, I admire you. I admire your strength. It is fantastic. And you are the Strength card anyway in tarot. It's remarkable how quickly you can go from this do this. You can do it like this. You can heal very quickly. That's amazing. Just as fast as you can go from love to hate mode. I love you. I hate you. You're good to me. I love you. You're not good to me. I'ma fucking kill you. The Leos I've met are like that. See. One more card will pop out, and then if there's anything questionable, we can clarify. Take a look at any of the numbers here and see if there are any repeating numbers. You have 2 5s and 2 10s. 10s are completion. That wanted to come out, so let it come out. Now look at you being super generous, as you always are. As you always are. You fascinate me, Leo. You really do. You fascinate me. And that is why sometimes you also confuse me a little bit with this whole love-hate thing. Love-hate thing. Which again, sometimes this can be very playful for you, but it might not be for others. Sometimes others don't get that. They don't get that you're just messing about when you have friendly discourse or a discussion that gets really heated, for instance. But maybe in a more future position, you come to realize that this doesn't always work. So you make up for it by really just reverting back to your harmful, kind, and generous nature of just giving. Here, this person is not necessarily a wealthy, rich person, but he's comfortable enough to give and please. He wants to give. You have so much earth energy here, more than your own element popping out here. I'm going to see if anything is going to pop up, anything final here. The Emperor, but the way I picked it up was the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor is someone who is extremely strong. This is someone who has risen into power. Also, quite a compassionate person. Quite a, if emperors can be fertile. Usually his female counterpart, the Empress, is an extremely fertile energy. The Emperor is a rather strong person and can also be stubborn. The Emperor knows when to extend himself and knows when to retreat. Even though you guys are not generally represented by this card, sometimes I do think of you when I look at the Emperor. Let me see here the numbers. 2 6s, 2 10s, 2 5s. I'm going to be looking at your vigils. You are slightly irritated. That much already has been made clear here, because 2 6s can signify irritation. And 2 10s here, condemnation. Yeah. Please watch it. You know, with the people around you, go a little bit easy on them. I do know that you've been suffering this heartache. Yes, people have been hurting you. But those people have been equally affected as well by your behavior, Leo. So I know you're going to be making it up to them. I do know this. But try to be more aware in your present circumstance, in your present situation, and start planning for the future if you are not happy with where you are right now. And take a look at this 3 of Swords to see if there is any additional information as to why, you know, this heartache is appearing here in your past position. I mean, it's clear now in your present situation. I want it to come out, so let it come out. It's clear now in your present situation that mainly the environment you're in that's bothering you. But to me, that doesn't necessarily justify a heartache, you know, heartbreak. It could be, you know, there's something here that involves a third party and justice. These 2 cards are clarifying the 3 of Swords. It can be a karmic situation for some of you. The situation can involve 3 people. Contracts and agreements with 3 people, or just you and 2 others that maybe were not very fair. Maybe the terms and agreements, terms and conditions to your friendships or relationships, which I know sounds very formal here, you know, they weren't very fair. Or that's how you feel, maybe. And justice is here to kind of like right the wrong or wrong the right. And there's a call for you to balance your emotions in this situation. Because even though the King of Cups has popped up here, the King of Cups is someone who really does know how to work with his emotions. But he's someone who can just as easily pour out his emotions. He can be over-emotional sometimes. But usually, he sits on this concrete throne that somehow seems to be afloat on water. Now, please tell me how this individual can do that. This is also a water sign. Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Some of you might be dealing with a water sign. Others of you may also be dealing with a Libra, because the Justice card is Libra. And the Libra in this case may even be mediating the situation. He or she might be calling your attention to this pretty unfair contractual friendship, perhaps, that is causing you and others pain. But you are going to be moving forward, and this Tower is going to make sure of it. You're moving forward to happier times that are going to remind you of your childhood memories. It's beautiful energy. There is a lot of hope and healing here for you. You're going to come back into full strength. It's beautiful. So much so that you're going to want to give. You already do give. You are so generous. You're going to revert to this, which is great. So, Leos, that's what I see for you. Oh, bottom of the deck. It's you! You being your best. You taming the beast, being the lion. Ever so strong. So much fortitude here. So much power to you and to be. Leos, namaste. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know what you think, or don't. That's fine as well. Be yourselves. It's all good. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, leave me a comment. Don't. Totally fine. And I will hopefully see you again sometime in. So, take good care, my friends.